Ladies and gentlemen, this radio play has a certain amount of audience participation.
Mandatory.
Yes.
Now, when I go, that is your cue to repeat the last word or phrase that was said. So if somebody says, frog porridge, and I go, you're meant to go, frog porridge. With a bit more joie de vivre, please. We are artistes after all. Frog porridge. The randomly selected Armadacon players who are still on the run from the last event are proud to present from the loquacious and amazingly talented pens of Phil and Kaya Pulio, authors of Girl Genius, the webcomic Read It or Else, A Revenge of the Weasel Quuen. It is a world ruled by mad science. Philosophers have told us that in an infinite universe, anything is possible. Thus, somewhere out there is a reality where you, the listener, are really a crazed, mad scientist, or, to be more polite, a spark. You rule with an iron hand from your lonely mountain-top castle, sending forth armies of undead monsters, giant insects, or even hideous extra-dimensional intelligences against helpless villagers, and battling endlessly with your fellow scientists, wanting nothing more than to dance upon their bones while the rest of the world acknowledges your genius and cedes you the mastery over all who kneel before you. If that sounds like your idea of a fun time, then you'll fit perfectly into the world of Agatha Heterodyne, Girl Genius! In our last episode, Agatha Heterodyne, Silence! And her companions crossed the first Emperor. Meow! No, it's your line.
It's your line.
My bad. Emperor of Cats. Meow! Zitha, lost princess of the equally lost city of Scaphander. And Otha Tryggvason, Gentleman Adventurer!
What is he still doing here?
Managed to thwart the plans of Podnasty, the villainous vegetable.
Oh yeah, that one's tough.
And is now taking a well-earned break
Took us what, 3 minutes?
in a quiet woodland glade,
At least you got a salad out of it.
from which no one has ever removed the line.
And a tasty. Wait, what was that?
What was what?
I thought I heard. Oh, never mind.
So, Othar, it's been nice working with you. For a given value of nice. But I'm sure you have zeppelins to chase or something, right?
That is indeed true. Not far from here is the town of Zoggletonk, which was attacked every night by mysterious creatures who drag away anyone foolish enough to go about after dark.
What happens to them?
No one knows. That's why they sent for me, Othar Tryggvason,
Gentleman Adventurer!
I don't suppose you'll be interested in joining me. It's probably nothing more than some crazed local madman abducting innocent villagers in order to turn them into his twisted servants. It'll kill an afternoon.
Ah, gee, we'd love to. But look at the time.
Indeed, I see it is time to help, time to vanquish evil, time to reclaim another small corner of the world from the shadowy menace of those who would use their evil genius to subjugate the innocent.
My watch must have stopped.
No.
Did you hear that?
Yes, it came from monsters, hell,
over there. Let's go.
And there's the fellow who's calling for help. He's down, and a woman. What's that next to him? Good Lord!
Yikes! That's the biggest rabbit I've ever seen.
Oh, that's because you haven't seen the two other ones behind you.
No, that's me! Wow! Look out! Those teeth are as long as my arm.
Kayak!
Not anymore. I think I'll turn you inside out. I haven't done that lately. Oh yes, that's why. Sorry about it.
I will attack this woman!
Foolish rabbit, you face Zetha, daughter of Chump, heir to the warrior throne of Skifander. Face my shovel.
The shovel? What can you do with that?
Wong!
How did you move so?
Wong!
Why are you even carrying it?
Wong!
I think I'll attack the other woman.
Oh, good. I wanted a chance to test my pocket de-arming device.
Ah! Foolish human, I need no weapons.
I didn't say anything about weapons.
Ah, my arms!
Ah, better. Up until now, all it did was rip my pockets off.
Woohoo! I've always wanted a rabbit's foot.
As a hat.
Ew! Zetha, why are you using a shovel instead of your swords?
Silly girl, you can't dig a hole with swords.
Well, right, this fellow appears to have passed out. But other than that, he's okay. How about you, miss?
You killed 3 Lapenamots.
Is that what they're called?
These stories I've been told about people being grabbed from the town of Zoltonk. Unless I miss my guess, we found the problem.
The villagers called them?
Indeed they did. Othar Tryggvason,
Gentleman adventurer!
at your service.
And these are your assistants?
No.
No, we're still haggling over minor details.
So what happened?
How much of the village elders told you?
Only that people have been disappearing.
I think it's been about 6 weeks. The first few who disappeared, people thought it was just the usual zombie warriors, giant insects, hideous extra-dimensional intelligences from the bottom of her Cluckman's well.
That's the usual around here.
The rents are very cheap. However, 2 weeks ago, the elders were sent a message. The town was now under the control of Ferretina, the Weasel Queen. And as long as she was allowed to take one of the young men of the village every month, the attacks would stop. They agreed. But I see now that this was merely a ruse to keep Ferretina from attacking them while they sent you. Very clever.
Ferretina, the Weasel Queen.
You've heard of her?
No, I just can't believe the name.
Around here, it's a name to be feared. You do well to remember that.
Well, if all she had were these giant rabbits, I'm not too worried.
They're a work in progress. Well, so
I can believe that.
good.
Actually, we know nothing about this Ferretina. For all we know, one of these rabbits was her.
Oh, now you're just pulling my...
No, I don't think so. Rabbits are normally timid herbivores. So, minions perhaps, but leaders, I can't see it.
Agatha, we're not talking about cute little fuzzy bunny rabbits. The thing we took out were 3 meters tall and smart enough to talk.
Animal-based constructs can be warped, that's true. But the basic nature of the original animal remains. Prove it. Are you, as a cat, prepared to accept certain intellectual precepts?
Yes, such as?
Such as, if you stand here talking, this string is going to escape.
Yay! Oh, you don't! No, you don't! Get back here! I got it!
Oh, damn you.
But Agatha, these rabbits were carrying these people off. They did try to fight us.
Yes, that is puzzling. In any case, the two of you are pretty lucky we happened along.
Oh, I agree. You must allow me to thank such gallant rescuers properly. Please, come to my humble abode.
Well, if only to bring your young man back home.
No, he's not my young man. I live within this glade. He's from the village.
Tell you what, we'll take this guy back to the village, and Othar can walk you back to your place.
Oh, that would be most enjoyable.
Oh, really?
Indeed. When the mood takes me, I can be most gratuitous.
Golly.
I'm sorry, was that the wrong word?
No, I think that was just about perfect.
Well, I suppose someone should see the young lady home.
Are you still here?
The village of Zoggletonk is past those trees. You hit a small road next to the brook, turn left, and you cannot miss it. I imagine the village elders will be glad to see you. Come, Herr Triggerwasser.
See you back in the village.
Not if I can help it. Okay, let's see if we can wake this guy up.
Is that wise? He's had a rough time. Sleep is probably the best thing for him.
Ah, so you'll carry him all the way to Zoggletonk then?
Twat! Twat! Twat!
Rise and shine.
No, stop. Who are you?
I'm Agatha Heterodyne. My companions and I saved you and your lady friend from some giant rabbits.
I'm George Oxconker. Those giant rabbits have been terrorizing our village. And, wait a minute, what lady friend?
The young lady you were with, you know, fur bikini, giant rabbit skull headdress, big boots with spikes, sharp teeth.
That was no friend of mine, nor of any human. You describe the evil Feratina, the Weasel Queen. Couldn't you tell?
Oh, well, we meet a lot of strangely dressed people.
Well, at least he was colour coordinated.
This could be bad. Now this Feratina knows that the village elders were just stalling until Othar arrived.
What, you know that we have sent for the great Othar Tryggvason?
Gentlemen, what am I doing?
Yes, we travelled here with him.
What? Why, that's wonderful. We're saved. Where is he?
Walking Feratina back to her lair. Oh. But fear not, I am Agatha Heterodyne.
Oh, so you could help us get a message to Baron Wolfenbach.
Perhaps we worry needlessly. What does this Feratina do with these men she demands?
Well, she does demand well-formed, lusty young men, over 6 feet tall, and under the age of 25.
I see.
You do?
Yes, she saw those taste best when grilled with cheese.
Okay, I didn't see that.
What did you see?
Then never you mind.
Well,
Where to?
we've got to save Othar.
We do.
Of course we do. He has no idea that he's walking into a trap. If we don't save him, he might be killed.
Now, is this one of those situations that involve ethics? Because I'm a cat, you know. I've never been very good at those.
Let me put it this way. If you don't help me save Othar, I'll hit you with a very large stick.
How big a stick?
Will Agatha be able to find a big enough stick? Will Othar figure out he's in danger in time? Will he figure it out at all? And what kind of cheese goes best with grilled ham? To find out, tune in again for the further adventures of Agatha Heterodyne.
Go Genius!
Revenge of the Weasel Queen, Parts 2. It is a world ruled by mad science. Things happen. Usually they happen to other people. This is entertainment. Occasionally, however, they happen to you. Sometimes you get eaten by monsters, or subjugated by intelligent oysters, or forced to wear a pair of steam-powered iron shoes that never stop dancing. But sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes, they're your monsters. And as you sit in your castle, once watching the oysters dance, you realize it's a pretty jolly little world after all. And that's when the front door gets blown in and you belatedly understand that once again you're doomed to be the entertainment in another exciting installment of Agatha Heterodyne.
Go Genius!
In our last episode, Agatha Heterodyne,
Science!
and her companions, Zitha, the lost princess of the lost city of Skifander,
Hey,
and Crosp the First, Emperor of all cats,
meow.
were trying to find a way to remove themselves from the presence of Arthur Tryggvason,
Gentleman adventurer!
When he obligingly fell into the clutches of the nefarious Feritina, the Weasel Queen, who had been terrorizing the innocent villagers of Zoggletonk with her giant rabbits. A problem of which he is as yet unaware.
Such a nice girl.
This places our heroes in a bit of a quandary.
Quandary. Now, from the Latin quando, a state of difficulty or perplexity. A predicament.
I hated him. He is annoying.
Rash and impulsive, certainly.
He's always getting us into trouble. Oh, we're all agreed then.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. So why are we rescuing him?
It is a quandary.
We are not rescuing Opar. We are going to stop Feritina from terrorizing any more villages. And if by pure blind chance we find Opar, and he needs to be rescued, I will seriously consider it.
Okay, I can live with that.
So, what is this thing you're building, Agatha?
Ah, I figure the best way to get inside Feritina's lair is in disguise. And what is the best disguise? Her giant rabbits, of course. Of course. Luckily, we have these 3 giant rabbits from which to get the raw materials we need. Thus,
Actually, there are only 2 dead giant rabbits.
But there were 3.
Bang!
thus, I have created a combination of mechanical, taxidermist, and tape.
Bonjour, mistress.
Grief! How did you construct something so complicated?
Please, I always carry a Swiss Army knife and a coil of wire.
Does it really work?
No accessing tasks. I look forward to functioning at my fullest capacity, mistress. Scanning client number 1. Name?
Zitha, daughter of Chump.
Ah, so this is what the street people wear when they enter roller derby competitions. Obviously chosen for economy as opposed to looks.
Hey.
Ah, I see her in a stunning barbarian princess, leather and chainmail combination ensemble. Not only durable, but the same elements that will give greater freedom of movement and will show off Madame's obvious assets. For those post-melee assignations. Let them know that this wild girl must be tamed. Scanning client number 2. Name?
Agatha Heterodyne, and I don't need a further cleaning.
With your hips, no fear. I see the Goodwill was having a fire sale. What are we trying to say here? I wish to disguise myself as a sofa cushion. I wish to save the world but cannot navigate my closet. No! I see lab coats, I see silk, I see gears, machine parts, test tubes, watches, leather and brass. I see hundreds of fiddly little pockets to hold tools and weapons. And those charming little Deus Ex Machina devices that everyone is inventing this year. Très mad, très chic. Scanning client 3.
Cross the first emperor of all cats.
Tricky. Lucky you called me in. I can have this little fellow stuffed and mounted in a very lifelike pose in no time at all. If you'd like him to be useful, I could put a clock in his tummy.
Agatha!
This is all very interesting, but I have built you for the following task.
At last! My purpose, my raison d'etre. Speak, oh my creator.
Skin these giant rabbits and use their pelts to create rabbit suits for the 3 of us to use as disguises.
And?
No and. That's it.
I am in hand.
Meanwhile, in the hidden subterranean lair of Feritina, the Weasel Queen.
Well, here you are, miss. I'm glad that Othar Tryggvason,
Gentleman adventurer,
was able to be of service.
Oh, but you can't go. What kind of person would I be if I didn't show my appreciation? Please be seated.
Well, I never thought a throne of bones and skulls would be this comfy.
Not. Would you care for a drink?
It's bubbling.
That's how you know it's fresh. No, you're not like the local villagers.
Really? They all hideous mutants or something?
What? No.
Sorry, but in my line of work it pays to ask.
I meant that they're so weak and timid, none of them would dare go out into the forest, let alone be able to defeat a giant rabbit.
To be perfectly fair, I didn't know there were giant rabbits there in the first place.
Would it have stopped you if you had?
No, probably not.
Of course. You're a real man, a hero. I thought your kind but a fable, a story for children. Mind if I sit down?
Well, it's your house, oh, I say.
But there's only one chair. Surely a strong fellow like you doesn't find me too heavy, do you?
No, it's just hard to find good place to put your hands.
You know, Herr Triggerson, it gets so very lonely out here in the forest. I think it's loneliness that makes a person begin to have strange thoughts. Thoughts that drive them to explore the twisted, blasphemous black alleys of science that allows no forces than to create monstrosities. Monstrosities fit only to unleash upon those sanctimonious villagers who revile and mocked her because of her father's experiments. I did not choose my life, no more than I know the no more than I know the twisted horror that is the life of a human weasel hybrid. All I want is someone to talk to, someone to convince me that my human side is indeed dominant, that I am not a monster. To that person, I would give myself, body and soul and body. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Do you understand? Do you really?
Of course, this happens all the time.
It does.
Your story has told me all I need to know. You're Ferretina, the so-called Weasel Queen.
Oh, yes.
A twisted product of misused science.
Yes.
Driven mad by the conflict that wars within you, you've lashed out at the world around you and those who do not understand you.
Yes.
And then you saw me and realized that I was the man who could understand what you were.
Yes.
Could comprehend the terrible things you had done.
Yes.
Who could, would, and could do anything needed to prevent you from harming any further innocents.
Oh, yes.
And thus you have lured me here to my doom.
Yeah. What?
Nice try, you twisted mockery of life. I, Othor Triggerson, am far too clever to be fooled by your filthy subhuman tricks. I will do whatever it takes to destroy you.
But fine. Just fine. Kill it.
Hey, you have an awful lot of those giant rabbits, don't you?
Roar!
Resorting to violence instead of peaceful discussion. I expected nothing less from an evil, half-human product of debased science.
Wait. Don't kill it.
Roar!
That pleasure is reserved for me.
Will Ferretina get the pleasure of destroying Othar, or will she have to get in line? Will Agathis Fashion Clank find solace in death? Will Cross be more useful with a clock in his tummy? All of these questions will be cheerfully ignored in the next exciting episode of Agatha Heterodyne. Go Genius! Part 3. There's more. It is a world ruled by mad science, far above the surface in the cold vacuum of space. Vast intelligences, cold, calculating and dispassionate, eye this warm green world with envy. Hyperspatial PowerPoint lectures are given that demonstrate the ease with which the simple, meaty creatures that crawl about its surface could be conquered, subjugated, and consumed. Chitinous membranes begin to clatter in an ancient hunting rhythm. But then, a lone science drone reminds the council that this planet may indeed be a pitiful, undefended ball of slime-encrusted rock, but by ancient decree of the venerable high fish, it has been declared untouchable because it is unique in the galaxy, as it is the source of the weekly broadcasts of Agatha Heterodyne.
Go, genius!
In our last episode, Agatha Heterodyne
Science!
and her companion Sita, the lost princess of the lost city of Skifander, and crossed the first Emerald Cats.
Me.
We're about to attempt to sneak into the underground lair of Feratina, the Weasel Queen, wearing giant rabbit suits created by a unique tailored taxidermist client that Africa built to foil Feratina's nefarious predation upon the quaint little town of Zolotonk,
A good place to raise your kids.
which may not be as innocent as we had thought.
Weasels need not apply.
And if Feratina's prisoner, Arthur Tribadson, gentleman adventurer, happens to be rescued, well, they'll just have to look at that.
But I won't like it. It is a bit, unusual.
Excuse me, who is the designer here? Is it me? Why, great day in the morning, so it is. I am told to make a set of giant rabbit suits. Despite every atom of my being screaming in sheer agony at this perversion of my art, I do so. And the results, because I can do no less, are sheer genius. But I am allowed to take a spanner and dismantle myself in shame, knowing that I have at least fulfilled the short-sighted and inadequate orders of she who I was created to serve. No, even worse, I do not hear praise. I hear whining. Kill me.
The problem is that you fitted crop suit to cross.
Well, I didn't think either of you ladies had an 8-inch instinct.
No, the problem is that we're all supposed to be giant rabbits, not 2 giant rabbits and a 4-foot dwarf fairy.
Well, of course not. Novice, you think nothing more than a cobbled-together mess of clockwork designed to make giant rabbit costumes.
Well, actually.
Don't have to rub it in. Of course it's a little suit. He's a little kitty. How's he going to get into a full-size giant rabbit outfit? But a little suit that he can get into. Then you activate the power skeleton.
So what?
Hey! Things in here, grabbing things. My tail. Whoa! Whoa! I'm growing. What's happening?
Fascinating. It appears that there's some sort of powered framework stretching out the suit. Yikes! It's extruding dark teeth and claws.
Its eyes are glowing red.
Steam is coming out of its nose.
It's got a clock on its tummy.
That will not be denied.
I think I like it.
You are kidding me.
No, really, it's perfect. Now even when you're sleeping, you're still doing something useful.
I'm done talking to you people.
And yet I still know the correct time. Wow.
So what's the plan?
Simple. I've been thinking about what you said about rabbits. You're right. Rabbits shouldn't act like this no matter how they've been walked, unless they were forced.
Forced.
Yes, rabbits are terrified of ferrets. Obviously, Feratina scares them into obedience.
So this helps us how?
Well, obviously, all I have to do is make it so that the rabbits no longer fear her. Without them, her power base collapses and the town is safe.
Sure, until a horde of giant intelligent rabbits devour their crops.
Hey, one problem at a time. If we solved everything at once, we would be out of work.
So how do we make them no longer fear her?
Rabbits identify things by smell. All we have to do is change Feratina's scent.
That's all? A person's scent is an intrinsic part of who and what they are. Trust me on this. No matter what you've done or where you've been, a person's core scent remains inviolate and conveys the basic information about that person. It would be easier to change your fingerprints than to try alter your scent enough to change my or any animal's chemical perception of you.
I figure I'll feed her a miss of garlic.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. How will you get her to conveniently eat a pile of garlic?
That part of my plan is already underway.
Thus, a short while later, in Feratina's new lair.
will say this for the late Herr Arthur Triggerson. He certainly had good taste. Excuse me.
You're too kind.
What? Aren't you dead yet?
It'll take more than being tied to a lit keg of explosives and tossed into a pit of acid filled with mutant acid-resistant flying piranhas equipped with flamethrowers and battle axes, by venomous mechanical missile-launching Morris dancers armed with liquid nitrogen harpoon guns are riding giant rabbit killer bees with side-mounted death rays overhead to kill Othar Triggerson.
Silly me. I forgot to turn on the lightning generators.
Not a whole lot more, I admit.
Well, lucky for you, I have been mollified by your gift.
Gift? What gift?
Those perishes you had delivered to my secret lair. It's delicious. Bit heavy on the garlic, though.
Ha! That was the taste of justice, Weasel Quuen.
No, I'm pretty sure it was garlic. Wait, who said that?
I did.
Why, you're not Flopsy, Mopsy and Nietzsche.
No, it is I, Agatha Heterodyne, who has brought your evil to an end.
And how did you do that?
Ha! You control your giant rabbit's fire scent, correct?
No.
And that was your weakness.
Agatha,
By tricking you into eating garlic, which is well known for its ability to change a person's odour.
Agatha,
I have removed the linchpin of your control of these monsters, and they are now free to escape from your clutches, thus rendering you powerless before us. Surrender now! Did you say no?
Yes!
Ah, so how do you control these creatures that under normal circumstances should flee from you in terror?
Free health insurance.
say, are you looking for a strategist?
Maybe. Any pre-existing conditions?
Hairballs?
Ugh. You will die with the others. Lapino. Behemoths. Destroy them.
You leave me no choice. Time for the ultimate weapon.
Stop. Don't move.
This is your ultimate weapon?
Oh, kill me. Kill me now.
A time-saving device?
What in the world are you doing?
Kill me, for I have seen sartorial perfection, and I did not create it. Those skulls, those furs. This outfit says everything I've ever dreamed about saying about postmodern, deconstructive, faux nouveau, absurdist, organic neoclassicism. And it does it without irony. If I had the ability, I would weep.
This outfit? You're mocking me.
How could you say that?
Because I thought I was clearly attempting to redefine the systematic dichotomy between the classic functionalist movement and the post-industrial neo-noir school of art.
You have! But by using it vis-a-vis as your evil uniform, you have transcended the concept of the outfit as clothing and, dare I say it, placed it directly into the meta-meme of symbol itself.
No. Impossible. Do you mean it?
I was not constructed with the ability to lie.
Actually, that's not true.
Come! Who cares for these backwoods yokels? Come with me to Paris, where we will found a salon that would refine haute couture for the next 1,000 years.
At last! Recognition for my art. Yes! Yes, let's go!
Damn, girl, that was the best ultimate weapon ever.
Thanks.
Say, why are you hiding that carrot shooter behind your back?
Lightning generators. On.
Will Othar survive? All that stuff? Will Agatha realize she's still wearing an outwitted statement of hierarchical relationships of art versus science? Does anyone care that giants or rabbits are closing in? And they have knives? Find out next time in our next thrilling episode of Agatha Heterodyne.
Go Genius! That's it, folks. Please go Genius online and have a look. This script is actually a cartoon that they drew. So you can actually see how they would have done it originally. Thank you very much.